Hey, welcome to Mutant Puke. I'm Jake,
And I'm Ivy.
and we're joined by a very, very special guest today, the one and only Daisy Chamberlin of Resilia, of I Met a Yeti, of All Gone Grey, of some other stuff we might talk about here in the interview.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
the hardest working artist in the game, in the Swancore game, progressive post hardcore, whatever you want to call it. Uh, how's it
Hi.
going?
I'm so good. I'm a little tired, but I'm so good. How are y'all?
um,
Hungry.
I had a horrible night, but it's going better.
It was good. It was good until a point. It was good until it wasn't.
Were y'all
Yeah.
recording something?
No, there was just alcohol going on in my home, and alcohol
We had
can
a
lead to bad things.
we had a
Sometimes.
game night last night in
Yeah.
the Mutant Puke Discord.
Yeah. It got a little too litty. Too
A
litty
little,
in the Mutant Discord.
a little too great.
um, but Roselia obviously has not only a tour coming up, but also a new EP that's coming out. This episode comes out Monday, Monday 27th of March, and the Roselia EP comes out on Friday the 31st. Damn. We were kind of expecting just a single, but then you dropped the whole EP. Whoa.
Yeah.
Where'd
We
that come from?
so unfortunately, music takes a while. There's a bunch of things to consider
Yeah.
with production. And so we ended up with three songs that were they were like written and like recorded mostly at the same time as the last two singles that came out. They were always intended to be put together, but we ended up deciding like two of these are really not singles. One of them is kind of a single. Fuck it, let's just drop everything as an EP so there's something everyone can like listen to
Yeah.
cohesively with a solid track list.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be nice for sure. Like
Hmm.
having all the Roselia. Most of it anyway. There's a couple songs with those Ian those first features. Joey Holiday, I think, and someone else.
Hmm.
Um
I was on there, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
on the second. The actually they were released at the same time.
Oh
Royal
yes.
Flush
Right.
was
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, those were so exciting when they came out, and then you got announced as the vocalist, full-on vocalist. What's it like working with someone on the other side of the country? John Benoit
Um,
is from California, right? What isn't he?
yeah,
LA?
John's from California. I think a lot of this EP I flew out there to write with him, so a lot of the vocals we did write together, but Olive, Anjo, and Bad Lemon, I wrote all those vocals in my bedroom over here by myself. So
Yeah.
three of them were. I'm sorry if my cats are distracting.
No, it's
They're
funny. I'm
having
sure. I'm
babies.
sure
They're great.
YouTube will love it. The more cats, the better for YouTube. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I guess we should mention the EP, the name. Let me pull it up. I, I am a little high as per usual. The EP
That's
title, "Well Intentioned," the name of the game. What's the
Hmm.
what's the meaning with the title?
I don't know. So I think that's just something like John, just like a Johnism, like just a thing John like said, and he made it the demo name of I think it was the demo name of Bad Lemon.
Uh huh.
And then when I picked out like real names for the songs, our bass player Ethan suggested, "Hey, like we're all kind of attached to this name. Why don't we just name the EP that?" Um, and I thought that was cute, so we went with that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting name. Not, I feel like we get a lot of like one-word titles these days, or like something
Yeah.
snappy, a little devices, a little garden here and there. That's just the one that comes to me the most. Dwellings,
Yeah.
record that
Do
got
y'all think
announced.
that's a One Piece reference? I like can't
I
tell.
don't know.
It might be. I don't know them well enough to know for sure.
Yeah. If they don't know One Piece, you should gatekeep it.
Yeah.
You
You can't name your EP like that. You need to
You
pick a
can't
new
use a
name.
name from the most popular manga on the planet. 500 million copies and you didn't own any single one of them.
Did you ask
Stolen
Oda
valor.
Sensei? Did you? Did you get permission? Uh, I got a few questions down here. So wait, I don't know if you've listened to any of our interviews before, Daisy, but
I
we like origin stories. From the fetus Daisy Chamberlin to the grown ass woman Daisy Chamberlin. What's your music journey been like? How do you start out?
Oh fuck. So I liked music when I was a kid. I really liked the Beatles when I was little. So my parents got me piano lessons when I was 6, and I did piano lessons until I was about 15, which slowly turned into also voice lessons when I moved to Florida. So around the age of like 12, I started doing vocal lessons as well. I little side tangent, or like side venture. I played violin for a little bit in middle
Oh,
school,
cool.
in elementary school. Um, so I mostly focused on that stuff until I was about 15, and then I was like, hey, I'd really like to be in like a rock band. So I started trying to make that happen in high school. Uh, it's it's kind of rough when your friendship pools are limited to your school or
Yeah,
your
for sure.
city,
Oh
your
yeah.
town. So it was hard to as like a teenager, but eventually I started playing music with my roommate and his brother, and that led to me joining All Gone Gray, and then that led to me joining Yeti, and here we are.
When you started wanting to do rock music, was there like a band that was inspiring you? Like, was it the Beatles or was it something else? Like,
Oh no, oh definitely not. When I started to want to do rock music, I think the first thing that really like there were like bands that I really liked. I loved the Smashing Pumpkins in
mm,
middle and high school. I was like obsessed with them for a while. I really liked Alisana. And then I got really into Forgive Durden. I love that band to this day. Um, and it's so I think so. Forgive Durden and Alisana really were the first thing that made me start writing what I like later on ended up releasing.
mm-hmm.
But the thing that really pushed me out of my like bubble was finding a lot like birds. The first song I ever heard by them was truly Random Code, and I thought it was like the best thing I'd ever heard. And that was when I met Donnie and his brother, and we started a band called Evening's Fable, and you can find that music if you Google hard enough. But it's like it's not our best work, but it was a growing experience.
Yeah.
I played piano and sang in that band,
That
and did screams.
that project opened up for Alisana, didn't you? At one of your shows?
No, All Gone Gray. Actually,
Okay.
I was in Evening's Fable, and I emailed someone and said, "Hey, I'd really like my band to open this show. Like, what can I do to get on the bill?" And they said, "No, we don't really like your sound." And I was like, "Okay, how about
Damn.
my friend's band, All Gone Gray?" And I sent them All Gone Gray stuff, and then in between them booking All Gone Gray and me sending that email, I ended up joining All Gone Gray. So I was like, surprise, I still get to play this show.
Surprise,
Fuck
motherfucker.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. That's so cool. I, you know, it's it's a little weird. You're in these three awesome bands, and I feel like this is the first EP we've gotten from you in a long time. Like,
Hmm.
it's definitely like singles culture, right? For Spotify and like modern music making. How do you feel about like this release strategy? That you and a couple artists have been kind of pioneering in this scene.
I think it's kind of necessity for us because we all have like full-time jobs that take up like most of our week.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can like sit down in a room together and like write an album very easily. I know for Yeti, that's what we want to do next. Um, but with the last batch of Yeti songs, we had recorded them and wrote them, and like the original thought was this will be an EP. But then it became more of, well, we want to release something and it's taking too much time. We don't want to wait. We'd rather just release the songs, like trickle them out over the next few years rather than like, and then release the EP that we're writing now rather than like, wait forever to release the EP we have written. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing for Resilia. Like, I mean, the singles that we released as Resilia were mostly to lead up to this EP, but I think there were just like like also like John Benoit and I were both on tour for like a significant portion of last year, and also both work jobs that require, you know, a significant amount of our time. So, and then there's the rest of the band members. So coordinating between us and them and the artists and the production and video stuff, which has been very challenging recently. It's rough. I think like even like with Yeti, we've been sitting on this single called Metal Slime for like a year. I think we've had Metal Slime like the final mix for a year, and we're like, well, we got to film a music video for it. And then like every next month we're like, well, do we need to film a music video for it, or do we just need to release this?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm talking to Anthony later today, so this might be a good reminder for me to bring it up.
Yeah, I've heard tale of Metal Slime from the Discords.
Banger.
Yeah, I think we've like leaked it in there like 3 times. Anthony just would post like the Google Drive link in there sometimes. So, you know, if you're in the in circle, you've heard it. Can I plug the I'm at Yeti Discord server here?
Yeah, plug whatever.
Awesome. Join our Discord server. Get our songs leaked to you early, potentially sometimes.
What is your writing process for Resilia versus I Met a Yeti? Does it differ a lot? Are you channeling different emotions, different thoughts for each project?
Yeah, I think so. Cause yeah, I mean, it wasn't really super intentional, but like when it came down to it, I think with the Yeti stuff, well, also I guess I can't tell. This might just be like a thing that I'm doing right now. I don't really like care to write overly complicated lyrics at the moment. Like lately, I've kind of just want to like write like whatever bullshit I feel like writing about. So that includes like romance breakups, other things. I don't know how to describe it. I guess there's one song that's a little overly complicated that I wrote recently, but for the most part, like most of the Resilia stuff is either about like breakup or there's one song in there that's kind of like a self-parody in a sense, like I'm like being like making like a mockery of like my own personality traits in one of the songs. And then Hey There Pretty Girl, Time to Wake Up, that song is a little complicated because I try to do like metaphor parallels sometimes, and it's both about hormone replacement therapy for transgender people, like in a positive way, along with like Los Angeles and like Hollywood, like as a general culture.
Oh, scary. I don't like Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with no Hollywood shit, man. Not at all.
Though. That's a cool concept though.
Like beautiful and scary is like the idea, you know? I don't know.
I don't think a lot of people think about it though. There is like a weird culture surrounding Hollywood and like being transgender.
Really?
Especially oh yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah? Is this facetious? I can't tell.
I know. I seriously didn't know. Do I really sound that sarcastic? I'm sorry.
I think you're just high.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think that's a cool concept. Maybe those secret undertones that I didn't catch the first time are the reason why I like the song so much.
Oh, cute.
I
I'm glad
think
you like it.
I think it's because it sounds like Coheed and Cambria, and that shit
Shut the
rules.
fuck up!
sounds-
You say that
the
about
in-
every goddamn
I do
song
say it
that
a lot.
comes out.
I do say it a lot, but it sounds a lot like Burning Star 4's instrumentals.
I'm
Well,
like so sure that that's intentional because that is a John
John's-
Benoit staple.
Yeah, John's favorite band.
It hit me. I felt it in my soul. This is a Coheed inspired song. I was wondering about a couple of the titles for the song. Did you title them, or was it like mixed between you and John?
I'm pretty sure I titled every song except for I said Amnesty, and John came up with like the idea of doing like the /silver thing and the silver/amnesty thing. Because at the time that they released Silver Amnesty, I was in the band, but it was like low key a secret that I was in the band. So we just discussed the title because I had already started writing my version, and I was like, hey, I'd really like to have the word amnesty in the title, and he was like, oh, it'd be cool if we did like a swap the order of it for each version.
Yeah.
Some people are really confused by that.
I was
online.
confused.
It's very funny.
I think we talked about it on the show, and I was like, I don't get it. Why are they naming it like that? But I didn't realize it was the same fucking instrumental. The mixing's a little different, though.
Different lyrics.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What is it working with John Benoit? What's that like?
He's
love
fun.
John.
I like John.
Yeah.
John's the best.
He was
I feel
so
like
fun
John's
to talk to.
John's like genuinely like one of the most reliable people I know. It's kind of intimidating because it's like anytime I let him down, I'm like, oh no, I can't let John Benoit down. Like I know right now he's waiting for me to send him a flyer that I said I would make 2 days ago. So
Oh no.
I gotta do that. I'm gonna do that after this call. But anyway, yeah, John's like really reliable. His musical process is like a lot different than Anthony's. So Anthony writes a lot of the instrumentals for Yeti, and John writes all the instrumentals for Resilia. Obviously, there's like some collaboration in there where the rest of our musicians get to have input before the final product, but kind of the skeletons of the songs are written there by those two. Anthony will every song that Anthony writes, we're probably going to finish. It's like kind of Anthony will make multiple like big changes to the songs for Yeti, whereas John for Resilia, he more so just writes a ton of songs, and I mean he makes a lot of changes, but it's definitely like they're definitely more solid in the first draft. They're more similar to how they're going to end up. It's just that we cut so many of them. We like oftentimes like I'll listen to it and just be like, yeah, I don't know what to sing over this. Like I don't really, this doesn't really work for me. Like this could be a somebody else song. You could throw this in a different project. But like other times it's like I'll write vocals and then I'll send it back and he'll be like, this isn't quite as good as the rest of the stuff on the album. And I'll be like, yeah, I agree. Like I'm not feeling it as much. So luckily we usually have like about a like 90% like full band agreement on every decision. We usually have like a similar headspace about stuff. And I don't think anyone's like too attached to their own ego in that band. So we're all pretty able to let go of some stuff that we write for the band for the betterment of the project.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's nice to hear about some good collaborations, good collabs.
It's wholesome, and touring with them is super fun. We're all like siblings, like in a way.
That's awesome. I mean, just thinking about how many people you must work with in terms of bands and like even applying your real world, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah. As opposed to the fantasy world of music. But just thinking about all those connections, is it hard to like keep all those names and people in your head talking? You must be talking to so many people, right? Like doing
I
business.
yeah. So my job, actually, I do technically have. All right, let's go. Let's say technically I have two jobs.
Okay.
Um, one of them is part-time, and I have multiple clients that I work with in that job. And then in my full-time job, I have so many like
No.
clients, so many leads to
Jeez.
think of. So there's a lot there. That is super manageable because it's kind of like I compartmentalize that to like being a work thing. I try not to like I did end up working yesterday, which was Saturday, but like normally it's I try to compartmentalize that to like Monday through Friday.
Hmm.
Um as far as um like the bands, I feel as though, like, to be completely real, All Gone Gray hasn't done anything other than play shows that pertains to me specifically in a very long time.
Hmm.
So, like, there's a full length album for All Gone Gray that's completely recorded. Like, it's been written for a long time.
Hmm.
Um, it's just like a production thing, and kind of we went through a lineup change relatively recently. It was about a year ago ish. I don't really fully remember. And we've been kind of debating on how to move forward with that as far as promotion for this album. But recently we filmed a music video. So I think because we did that, it's likely that this album is kind of back on track to being released sooner rather than later. Ideally, this year, I'd really like to have that album out. Um, but as far because my work with that band is relatively limited since then, it really feels as though I'm in two bands. And uh, I'm writing stuff for Yeti right now. I'm writing stuff for Resilia right now. Nothing that's like overly taxing for me, so it's definitely uh it's a lot, but it's not like too much to keep track of. It's like
Yeah.
the normal amount of like music writing work, just divided between two bands.
Yeah. Have you done many features recently for any, like just doing commissions or stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't know what all I'm allowed to talk about.
Okay, yeah.
I I'm okay. I'm fairly confident that there's at least two that I can talk about.
Okay.
Um,
Let me know and I'll cut anything out
oh,
if you
okay,
find out
cool. Yeah,
otherwise. Okay.
gotcha. So recently, and I know we already teased this, so it's probably perfectly fine. I did some work with Tony from Space Weather, and we're
Uh,
releasing a song that I sing on, um, a Space Weather song that I feature on.
yeah.
Um, I know also there were some tweets that were public of me saying that I was interested in being on the song. So it was really fun. It's unique. Usually when I record a feature, I record it alone, like in my room. Um, but this time I got to do it with Tony
Cool.
here, so that was very nice. And I also sing on an upcoming Lilac King song that will be released soon. I know the name of the song. I think it's something like Six Set Bro or something like that.
Six set, bro.
Yeah, sorry, I think so. It's something a little silly. I'm trying to find the name of it really quick.
uh, Space
I
Weather, I
know.
think, has a record coming out soon. So I guess your song will
Yeah,
be on that record. Yeah.
it's gonna be on that record, yeah.
Awesome.
And then Six Set Bro, I think, is being released as a single. And we're gonna play it live on tour as well.
Oh,
This
cool.
upcoming tour together.
Nice.
There was one more feature that was also leaked in the
Oh.
properties of nature Discord. They've
Oh,
already
okay,
told
cool.
people about it. I don't
Oh,
know how much they were allowed to
what?
talk about it, but yeah.
I didn't
Did you
even know
I
not
think
see
that.
it's
that?
fine
I didn't
then.
see it.
Yeah,
No.
it was in their Discord. They talked about it like a couple days ago because they were talking about the next single coming out soon, and then I asked if it was the one that I thought it was, and they're like, "No, that's the next one." And I was like, "Okay." So they already also talked about that in their
Well,
Discord.
damn, cool. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to that. I'm looking forward to all
properties of
those.
nature as well. And then I thought it was funny. I was listening to your podcast recently, and I heard
Oh,
Josh
no.
say, "Oh, I'm supposed to do this feature for this band, but it's been
Yeah.
it's so overdue." And I was like, "Oh no, same," because I'm in that same position right now
Y'all
where
telling on yourselves on the fucking Mutant Puke podcast.
listen,
This is
Yeah,
I'm
every
all-
vocalist that
listen.
comes on, yeah, I'm behind. I'm sorry. Like it just becomes a platform for
I'll say it.
apologizing.
I'll say it
I
too.
kn-
Keely was getting on my ass this week because I'm also behind on the New Witch's Tongue stuff. So
yeah, that's how it goes. It's
vocalist, am I
literally
right?
between like my own music, like my job, it's like my brain just feels like so full.
Yeah.
I feel like
Mhm.
I used to be a person that answered all my messages, and now like recently my partner saw like my notification count on my inbox, and they were like, "Don't let me see that ever again." It's like 50 unread messages,
Oh no.
300 unread text messages.
Jeez.
Something like that.
I
But
don't know if you feel this way, but I feel absolutely fried after writing lyrics. I just like the idea of conceptualizing something that you're going to sing on a song and like putting a bunch of thought into like structuring it and doing all that. Fucking, I feel fried afterwards. Like especially like you said with like a full-time job and like other things that you have to do throughout your day. It's like the idea of sitting down and making time for that is just it literally your head feels full. Like I don't know if you feel the same way, but
I do. I know there's a way around it for me, and I'm dumb and haven't like tried to take advantage of it. Usually, if I can like set myself up for like absolute comfort during writing, I can write pretty cool things. I tend to write like cute things, like catchy melodies in the shower. So I try to like play my demos on like a Bluetooth speaker while I'm taking a shower and just like hum stuff or like sing things over it. But I found that if I sit on my phone, like sitting in the bathtub, I can write lyrics like no problem. I don't really know what it is. It like removes all distraction for me. But I never take baths anymore, so I don't do it. It's not like a thing that I like actively seek out doing. And I have like the nicest bathtub in my bathroom, like a dedicated bathtub, not like a shower bathtub combo, because I have the master in my house. So I really should take advantage of that, and I just don't do it.
Yeah, you got music writing fucking study right there, right behind you.
Yeah, I should be doing that. And then also I know like, there's some mental health elements to like writing music that it's like not too good, not too bad is like my ideal scenario. Like if I'm like
exactly.
a little stressed out, if I feel like a little bad about something, a little guilty, maybe I'll write good lyrics, but I haven't felt I feel pretty happy right now, so it's I have to work through that. I can't let that be an excuse not to write.
Yeah. Yeah. I should we rank some Andreas albums?
For sure.
yeah, I think we should.
Well, for listeners and for Daisy, we're just gonna do a round robin. Each of us are we changing it? I forgot.
I think John Benoit changed the podcast forever
Oh yeah, that's true.
last time by completely switching up the format and saving a lot of time in the process.
Oh yeah, he just gave all his rankings at once. That makes way more sense. But Daisy, I think
Yeah.
should go last.
Okay.
Because
Do you want
that's
me to open
obviously
it
the
up then?
most interesting answer. No one, who cares what we think? This doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense as a bit, but whatever. Yeah, go first, Ivy. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, if you know me, you know that I am quite the Andres dick rider. It's not a secret. It's I was looking up I was trying to calculate how much time I've actually spent listening to Andreas. And I know it's a lot more than my last FM shows because I only signed up for that at like the very end of 2021. But between 2021 and now specifically, I have listened to so each Andreas album is 10 songs long. He has 4 albums, they're all 10 songs long. I have listened to 1,931 songs just in the last 2 years, roughly. And God, it's less than 2 years. But anyways, that's basically 193 times that I've listened to an entire album. So I love Andreas. This was very, very, very difficult for me to rank these albums. This was so fucking hard. I like went back and looked. Um, I, I mean, I would probably put at number 4, Strange Memories. I love Strange Memories. It was the first album. It's his first album, but it was the first one I actually heard as well. I mean, fucking Bad Boy, Darth Binks. I love Sunday School. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can call me cringe. That song bangs. And then I would probably do at number 3, Heroes, Villains, and All That Jazz. The opening track, Andres Pasito, Saloon, Zombie, Spanish Mommies, an all-time banger. When he was touring, the last show that I saw him play, he played Spanish Mommy and Anime Mommy back to back, and that was really fun. So, and then I would probably put Adventures of a DIY Astronaut. I loved this album, and I listened to it an unreasonable amount of times when it came out. I love All American Boogeyman as an opener. I think Anime Mommy is funny and on the nose. I think Miss November is maybe one of the most heartbreaking closing tracks I've ever heard, and it's a great album. But Once Upon a Time in Bakersfield holds a very special place in my heart, and that's why it's my number 1. I think Cold Hives and Screwdrivers is my number 1 listened to song of all time. Like, I'm almost certain that I've listened to this song more than any other song in my entire life, which is kind of weird to say. Because it only came out in 2019. But I love this album. Anytime I'm feeling like really shitty or just in like a bad headspace, I listen to this album. And when it came out, I just had it on repeat. It was over and over and over again. So number 1, Once Upon a Time in Bakersfield. And Jake, you can go ahead now. Your turn, baby.
Okay. Crazy dick ride sesh just happened.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So I've listened to Andreas before. That song Sunday School. I've also known that song for a long time, but that's that and the Self-Aware remix or whatever it's called. I've had those 2 songs liked forever, but I've never investigated his playlist or his discography, rather. I was kind of having a Joker moment, man, when I was listening to those first 2 albums. A Jaker moment, if you will. I don't, like, is it cringe on purpose? I was cringing so hard at so much of it. I love his voice. I love his melodies, like the way he uses his voice, but those lyrics were fucking killing me. So for number 4 and 3, I got Strange Memories for 4 and Heroes and Villains for 3. They're kind of on the same tier for me. I truly a Joker moment. I'm not usually like this, but I don't know. I'm sorry, Andreas. Please forgive me, Andreas. But let me just say, number 2, DIY Astronaut. I like it a lot more than those. I think it's a lot more of an interesting sound, even more mature lyrics, less cringe overall, I'd have to say. And Once Upon a Time in Bakersfield, fucking, that's number 1 for sure. It shook me. It's got some crazy fucking songs on it, like a total departure from his other stuff. It's so cool. It's like, it's got soundscapes and shit, like, Andreas, where'd this come from? Hello. So yeah,
sad.
Yeah, love Once Upon a Time in Bakersfield. Yeah, and those other 2. I'm sorry. Don't come for me, Andreas stands. Daisy, the opinion that counts.
Yeah, the only one that matters.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much my opinion matters because I'm so biased. I was a big fan of Andres since a while, like as we were writing Camp Yeti. I got really into his first full length. His first full length that really counts, at least. Strange Memories. So I am really biased. I tried to filter that for ranking these, but it's hard. I personally really like all of these albums, and nostalgia plays like a big role in how I will perceive these albums, and my like context of like knowing where the songs came from like plays a role in how I factor it in. I can't filter that out. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, of
I tried to
course.
some degree, but
We're a
I
dick
tried to at
riding
least think about it
podcast.
Oh
heavily.
yeah, we dick ride
Um,
without merit.
so my last place, my fourth place, is both of your first places.
Oh,
Once Upon a Time in Bakersfield. I really like the album, but so it feels like to me between what was the album? Between Heroes, Villains, and All That Jazz and this album, it feels like he had kind of like a self-aware moment
hmm.
of, oh my god, like this is the way I'm perceiving like the music I've written. And
Yeah.
then he like adjusted for that and wrote this album, and I think it's really cool. But um but it's kind of, even though it's like a 10-song album, it's really, to me, it will never not feel like a 7-song album because there's a transitional song, and I think this is really cool. Uh, but um, the interlude song happens, and then 2 songs from his first band's EP play, and his band Terra Alive, Lima Heights and Colossal Titan. And it's cute because in the interlude they say now like 2 throwback songs or something like that. And I think that's like adorable, and it's really cool concept. And it fits the theme of the whole album. And I didn't really get that until listening through the album recently. I didn't really like realize, oh, that's like the theme of the album, like is like reflecting on the past. And so it's really fitting to put 2 old songs on the album. But like it still makes me feel like this is like a long EP, like in some ways.
Hmm.
And so it's just hard for me to like personally think of this album the same as the other 3. And then my number 3 is Heroes, Villains, and All That Jazz. I really like the album. I don't think I like fully I don't think I fully appreciated it when it first came out. I kind of wanted more of the same, I think, from him. Like I wasn't
Hmm.
ready to part with the Nervous Night album, Strange Memories on This Nervous Night, that sound. So hearing him do something different was like jarring for me. And so I don't have like the nostalgia for that album that I do for the other 2. Although, I mean, I really like it. I think there's a lot of bangers on it. Saloon is amazing. I like
Hmm.
just realized how great that song is. I think it's like a real banger. And then my number 2 is Strange Memories on This Nervous Night. Nostalgia is definitely going to play a huge part in that for me. I first found Andres through Facebook, a post of the music video for Bad Boy. I saw that. I was like, wow, this is the That 70 Show intro. That's cool. And then I listened to the song, and I was like, is this Swancore? I don't know if this is Swancore. And I got obsessed with the album. And I showed it to people that I love and cherish deeply. And I remember I have so many nostalgic memories of listening to this album with other people, with my friends and loved ones. And I think that this album is like spectacular. Puzzle's an amazing song, which is funny because Puzzle also was a Terra Alive song that got repurposed for Undress, but it feels different because it got put onto that album like right after, so it feels more like it was a single and then he rebranded and put it on the album, so it still feels like part of the album to me.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think that's cool. I really like that album. Bad Boy's amazing, Puzzle's amazing, La Habra is amazing. Um, and Adventures of a DIY Astronaut is my favorite Andres album. It's just, I think it's just the most well written album front to back by Andres, and I think it has like really good singles along with like really good emotional pieces. There's not like a single moment of filler on the album. Not that not that anything's truly filler on an album, but nothing ever feels like, oh, this went on just a little too long. Everything feels like
Yeah.
really concise and like intentional. Um, and it is very nostalgic because my band I Met Yeti toured with Andres while he was supporting this album, and we played his album release show in Bakersfield, California, for this album. So I am super aware that my nostalgia probably plays a heavy factor in this, even though this was relatively recently. It was like 2021, I think.
Yeah, yeah. That's his newest record, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, and also, if y'all haven't heard it, there is a Terra Live EP that is comprised of some of the songs that he like kind of ported to Andres later on. I listened to that a ton. I don't think you can find it on Spotify anymore, but it's on Bandcamp. There's a song called Silverado on there that is not on Spotify, I don't think, and I really like it. I think Jake will probably hate it, but it's super fun.
Oh no.
It's probably like a more potent it's like probably a more distilled version of all the things you dislike about the first two albums. But yeah, I love it. I think it's cool. The lyrics are at some points just like, wow, did you really just say that? But that's part of the charm for me. I think that's cute. I love it. It's really vulnerable. It's really
Yeah, I definitely
unfiltered.
appreciate the the artistry behind it for sure. The vulnerability. It's too vulnerable for old Jake here. I got a dog on it. I had the dog on it.
I think.
Can I also mention I wrote down 3 singles because I just wanted to talk about them and they're not on albums.
Sure.
If anyone hasn't heard Cardigans and Split Ends yet, it's like his most recent single.
yeah.
It's like probably his best song. It's amazing. I think it like goes beyond like, I don't know. It defies expectation. It's amazing. If he also has a single called Chemistry Set that came out a little bit before it. If those two are on an album together, that'll be really cool. And then this one's kind of older, but there's a song called Photo Shoot. It's wonderful. I love it. If you haven't heard those songs, please listen to them. They're great.
Yeah, awesome. Damn. What you said? Cardigans and Split Ends. What's the second one you said?
Chemistry Set.
Chemistry Set.
Set,
I love
yeah.
that song. I like that song a lot, actually.
It's good. Yeah, they're both really good. I think if that's the sound that he's going into for the next album, I'd be super happy with that. He switches things up like really hard between each album, and I didn't really notice that until listening through for this interview.
Yeah, when you were like saying, "Is this Swancore? Is this Swancore?" It's so true. He's like so unique in the scene. He's like notably a part of the scene, but the sound is so unique from his band and like how they make music. It's not just Swancore or anything like that. It's kind of its own thing. It's real cool. I did have a few more questions about the new Resilia EP. Bad Lemon.
Cool.
Bad Lemon, the opener, for everyone who hasn't heard it yet. It's very short. It's in fact a minute and 11 seconds long, I think.
Yeah.
What was the choice here? Why so short? I mean, I love it. It's funny. I like how short it is. It's kind of awesome.
It's an intro song.
Yeah.
If you listen to Camp Yeti, we have an intro song on that EP too. This song it will never. I don't think we'll ever play it without it being right before Anjo. It is supposed to lead into Anjo.
Yeah.
My lyrical process was I wrote these as one song. To me, they are one song. I love Anjo. Like Anjo is my baby, but in terms of like the theme, they go together.
Okay, awesome. Anjo. What does the name Anjo come from? Is that a reference to something?
Not really. Anjo is a pear. It's a winter pear. I initially started writing a song. I started writing a song for Camp Yeti called Anjo that didn't make it onto the EP. but you can hear there's a lyric in Honeybee that is, "You're a pear." This is a reference to that. Both of those lyrics are about the same person, so
Cool.
that is the reference.
I love that. I love stuff like that in music and artist history. What uh the last song, Hey Pretty Girl, Time to Wake Up. Also, Wake Up is in the title. I'm just saying you named it, but also Coheed, Wake Up. Classic song.
Oh,
Off
Oh,
Burning
I don't
Star
know much
4.
about
I'm
Coheed.
just saying.
this motherfucker.
John Benoit said nice reference, probably. He probably. That's.
You know what? He was on board. I sent him a list of titles that I would be cool with, and he picked that one. So,
My theory.
yeah.
The screams on that song are so incredible. Well,
Oh shit! Thank you.
like best screams of your career probably at this point so far, of course. But it's like, damn. Are you doing anything different? Have you taken like screaming vocal lessons or something like that, or is it just like over time you've just gotten better and better?
I mean, yeah, I do different exercises. I don't really do different screaming exercises, but definitely over time. It's kind of both. It's both that over time I just have gotten better, and also like that over time I like adjust like the exercises I do, and I don't know. I think there's also something about the mix of this song that sounds makes them sound really good. So that's cool. It's always nice to like have be set up for success in the mix. But yeah, I think I think they're good. I don't know that I think they're the best in my career. I think that my screams. I'm always trying to like emulate the screams that I did on Royal Flush. I always think those sound really good, and I'm like, how did I do that? Like, how do I do that again? Uh, but yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you like these ones. I just try really hard, try
Yeah.
my best.
Um,
I know. I remember you saying something in passing about the last time that you went on tour with Makari, that you and Andy had worked on vocals together again. Am I incorrect in that remembering? Like I said, I think it was just in passing you saying something like, because I know that you had taken some lessons from him. So I was just curious if maybe hanging out with him and touring with him again had any influence on some of these songs, or if these were recorded prior to that tour.
um, so the songs that I would have recorded prior would be "Hey There, Pretty Girl," "Olive," and "Amnesty." So the songs that were recorded afterwards were uh, "Anjo" and "Bad Lemon," which I did all in one. So the only ones that would be like we mostly talked about my singing, like my clean
Okay.
singing and my head voice. So we didn't talk a ton about it, but I would just kind of ask him questions because it's like if you're around a singer as good as Andy Sizik for like a month, you gotta ask him some questions. Things are gonna come up, and I'm gonna ask him stuff. So, well, like when we were in the green room, I would be doing vocal warm ups, and I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, I'm trying to work on this. Like, what do you think?" And we would talk about it, and he helped me out for sure. There was a night in Denver that he showed me something, and then I did it, and I haven't really done it to that use my head voice to that degree since because I was kind of like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that, and now I'm like, can I really do that? What did he do? I don't remember fully, but I don't know. It's fun. He's great. But yeah, I think it affected it to a degree, but maybe it's also a combination of also just like uh practicing, exercising, all that stuff.
Sick. Well, I've run through pretty much all my questions. I missed one. Sorry. What's it right? What, what's it like writing ballads versus bangers?
Oh, like Olive.
Yeah, Olive.
Yeah. I feel like that came really naturally to me. I wrote that in like a day pretty much. I just was like home by myself and I was like, I'm gonna write a song. I want to write about somebody I love. here's a song, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like this sounds like I just heard the instrumental. I was like, I'm just gonna write about my partner. Like
Yeah.
that sounds like the ideal thing to do here. And obviously, I feel a lot for that person, so it's easy to write about them. So that's all it was.
Nice.
I remember you showing me like the original demo where only like half the song
Oh yeah.
was written. We were like,
My voice got tired. that
yeah,
day.
but I remember hearing it, and we were like in the car. I don't remember what the fuck we were doing. I think I was visiting or something like that. But I heard that song like the first half of the demo, and I was like, holy shit! I think this is like the best ballad I've heard since like "Relax Divide" by Hail the Sun. And I
Nice.
still stand by that. I think that's like peak. I love ballads. I think Daisy did an excellent job on that song. And God, it's still like when I think about benchmarks for like ballads, it's like Olive and Relax Divide by Hail the Sun. Those are the two I always think of.
Yeah, Relax Divide is a banger. I don't know. It's definitely more like writing pop music for sure. So I just kind of didn't fight my natural like my like inclination was like my intuition, right? My writing intuition. I was like, this is what I want to write. Okay, I'm just gonna go with that, and so I did.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, now I'm actually out of questions. Ivy, you got anything?
We could always.
What's
I'm
your
so
prep
scared.
time looking like for this, Ivy? What
My
do you
prep
do?
time?
Yeah.
I woke up at 1 p.m.
Awesome.
I doom scrolled on Twitter for 30 minutes.
That's it.
I
That's normal. Everyone does it.
I ordered DoorDash that I still haven't gotten to eat. I drank a Dr. Pepper. I listened to like 3 Andres songs.
Okay.
And then I made this group chat, and here I am.
Sweet.
I just know. Okay, so like it's really hard for me to interview Daisy because I know a lot about Daisy, but I don't want to
Yeah.
just go into like random ass deep lore that like maybe Daisy doesn't want people to fucking know about because it's like
Oh, this is super possible. That's why I said I'm scared because I'm like, yo, if you got a question for me and it's about, I could be like, oh yeah, cut that.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I spent a shit ton of time with Daisy, so I don't really. I wanted you to ask the questions, and maybe I could slip in some whatever fucking random shit because. I think you have a lot better questions, Jake.
I already asked the damn questions.
That's
You
what I'm
didn't slip
saying.
in the
That's why I
random
don't
shit.
fucking have
What are you talking
anything.
about?
That's why I'm saying I don't fucking have anything because all the dumb shit I'd want to ask are like way too like deep lore. Probably like we'll have to cut it, so let's just not do that.
Well, you know what? I ask something. Do you have
Ask?
anything? Do you have anything that
Anything?
comes to
All right,
mind?
all right.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, I want to
something.
talk about the really incredible underground music endeavor from you.
All right.
A lot of people probably don't know it, but you have bangers such as Hoagie Fest, and I can't remember the other one. There's only 2 bangers because there's only 2 songs, but
Daisy, she
Straight
won't
Out of
shut the fuck
Antarctica.
up about
yeah.
Hoagie Fest. She won't shut the fuck up about Hoagie,
Hoagie Fest
Fest.
is a fucking it's a banger. You can't listen to Hoagie Fest and not think that's a banger.
Daisy, can you explain what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'll tell the story. All right. So around, I think I was like 19 or 20. My friends and my friend Josh Hoffman, my friend Josh Hoffman and his brother Michael Hoffman, and our friend Zach, we were joking around about making some rap songs, and then we just kind of did it. The first one's called Straight Out of Antarctica. It's about being walruses.
Yeah.
Um,
Normal.
it's about being walruses and not being a hygienist, I think is what Michael says. There's one song, there's a hidden song that Ivy failed to mention. I can't remember the name
I'm
of
a fake fan.
but it's just a breakdown. It's just a really bad breakdown made in in GarageBand without tuning the guitars. So it's called I think it's or maybe I don't. It's not called this, but the lyrics are dude, there was a bug in my room yesterday. It is my friend Josh, who at the time didn't scream. He does now for his band. He didn't scream at the time. It's just him screaming, dude, there was a bug in my room yesterday and I wanted to fucking kill myself. And that's that song. The concept originally was we were like, oh, well, let's release like one rap song and one really bad breakdown on each time. But then we did Hoagie Fest and I was like, I don't want to make a breakdown. We're just releasing Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is about how much at the time we loved Wawa. And we loved Hoagie Fest. We were very excited about Hoagie Fest existing.
I don't even know what that is.
I sent it to Wawa and they
Hoagie
didn't
Fest
acknowledge
rules.
us. I don't know why they won't respond to my emails. And it's particularly upsetting to me that they then went to another band and had a Hoagie Fest song made years later
shit.
after we had already given them a song for free.
Have we said the
Very
name of the
ungrateful.
rap thing? Have you said the name of it?
It's called Swag Walrus. That's the rap group.
Swag Walrus.
You can find it on Bandcamp. We haven't done anything in years, but you're welcome to
There's
look
still
it up
time.
if you'd like
Still
to.
time for a revival. Everyone's coming back, you know.
I think
The
it
revival
means
is
that
here.
I
Yes,
want
too.
to. I just don't live super close to Josh and Michael anymore. So, you can check out my friend Josh's band. They're called Awaystead. Yeah,
Oh.
they're pretty cool.
How do you spell that?
Awaysted.
Oh, okay.
EAD.
Okay,
Awaystead.
interested. Okay.
Awaystead. Yep.
Wasted. Shout out. That line. There was a bug in my room yesterday, and I want to kill myself. So real. He's so for real for that.
Okay.
I
alright,
walked
so the
out
way
there.
We wrote that
Oh yeah,
lyric,
please.
sorry.
I think I
He was
understand
like,
the
I-
logic. I understand the
Oh,
logic.
yeah, no, all right, but it's good. It's good. I was recording, I was engineering, and Josh was like, well, I don't know what to scream. I don't know what to say. And then I was like, well, tell me about your day yesterday. And then he said verbatim, dude, there was a bug in my room yesterday and I wanted to fucking kill myself. And I said, stop right there. Those are the lyrics. You're gonna scream that.
So real.
Yeah, it's relatable.
I walked out my fucking door today, and there was a spider hanging from the middle of my living room ceiling, just in the middle. Like, what you doing, man? Kentucky moment for sure.
Yeah, actually, you seem to have a lot in common with my friend Josh. Let me introduce you guys sometime. I think you'd really get along.
Okay. Yeah,
Josh
not
on
a
the
fan of
podcast
bugs.
I'm sure Josh would love that.
Yeah, sure. Whoever wants to come on, you know.
Honestly, bring me Josh and Michael on. It'll basically be the Daisy, Josh, and Michael podcast, but y'all could just give us a platform for one episode. We'll just talk about Swag Walrus.
That's how I.
That sounds like a Swag Walrus interview to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think that'd have to come with like a revitalization, a single. Once you
don't have
have
time
that,
for
man.
It's not happening. I'm so sorry.
pencil in a Swag Walrus single sometime in the future.
No.
He's actually
I
got a
gotta
shelf
write-
metal slime for Swag
Yeah, I
Walrus.
gotta write Yeti
revival.
stuff. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I had one more question because
Okay.
I can't go a single episode without a little discourse.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is the obsession with the Waffle House
fucking
versus
A.
IHOP discussion?
Okay.
Is it
Is
a
there
real
any
discussion?
backstory?
This is just
Yeah, sure.
obscure
Um,
Twitter.
It's definitely
What the
okay.
people
So here's my thing. All right. So when you're on tour, there are some extra considerations taken into the food you eat because one, getting like any kind of like stomach ickiness is like less convenient while you're stuck in a van driving for hours and hours, and having to play shows. And it's difficult because you have limited options. If you go to a town and you want to eat somewhere local, that can be amazing, but it also might not be. and it's difficult to find those things and know of those things, so or afford those things because they get more expensive. So consistency is super fucking important to us when we're on tour, right? And Waffle House is open 24/7. Denny's is open 24/7. IHOP, I don't know if it's open 24/7, but
Some are.
they're also in most parts of the country. And so we've gone to all of those like on tour. Me and Johnny Fafa and the rest of the touring members for I Met a Yeti have been to many Waffle Houses together, and we have personally found that, especially because I am also a vegan and have been for quite a long time, so my diet is even more restrictive, so I have even less options. And to be very transparent with y'all, I am very grumpy when I'm hungry, and no one wants to be around me on tour if I'm grumpy. So it is usually prioritized that there's something that I can eat at every restaurant that we go to. We going to Waffle House is just really easy for me. It's really easy for everyone else. We have wonderful memories at Waffle House. We've gotten into wonderful fist fights at Waffle House. We have fought off many Florida men,
Jesus,
many Ohio men.
Oh no.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the Ohio men, especially.
Yeah, and so on, and then also, yeah, we've gone to IHOP, and there was one morning that sometimes on tour there will be days where we will go to get food somewhere, and I will be like, can I have the one single vegan option on your menu? And everyone else has already ordered their food, and then the person says to me, no, we're all out of that. And that's not a great feeling, because then I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit here hungry while my friends all eat food, and I love them very much and I want them to eat their food, but I am probably very hungry in this moment because we're on tour and it's not convenient to stop and eat. So it's not the best experience when that happens. And one day after, like, that happened like twice in a row or something,
Jesus.
we went to an IHOP, or maybe this was the second thing. We went to an IHOP and I ordered hash browns, and they were so cooked. They were so cooked that they were not like potatoes anymore. They were like just like all crunch, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't eat this. I was just like, and I'm already like kind of frustrated and sleepy, and as I said, I get grumpy when I'm hungry. So and oftentimes if a place makes me bad food and they come and say, oh, let us fix that for you, and I'm usually really nice about it. But if I'm on tour, I might just be like, no, like, you're not going to. I don't trust you. I don't trust that the same cook that made this is going to make me anything edible. So
Yeah.
I ended up going to Subway, and I think I just take personal offense to the fact that I had to eat Subway that day.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah,
It's rough.
Yeah, so that definitely contributed, and I think everyone loves me in my circle of friends that we tour with. So I think they also carry a little bit of my vendetta against IHOP, and I'm sure we each all have our own IHOP horror stories individually. I'm sure if you asked Johnny, his answer would be slightly different. But Waffle House has never done me wrong like that. Waffle House, every single time, the potatoes are potatoes. They are in fact potatoes. The only variation is like the level of grease. Sometimes there's too much grease, and I'll admit that, but I can live with a little too much grease.
What the hell?
What the fuck
Sorry,
just happened?
my webcam died. I forgot to plug it in.
Oh shit.
But yeah, it's I think Waffle House is consistent, and I think it's a little sentimental to us versus IHOP. I think we all have like at least one story of like, fuck this place. So, you know.
I think I have a story like that about literally every breakfast restaurant I've ever been to.
A fuck this place story?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
My most recent was Perkins. We went to Perkins and it was just a fucking nightmare. Like, I don't even know where to begin with that.
Every time I drive past like down that street that you live on, which is not very often because you're on like a different part of Orlando than me, I'm always like, should I try that? But
don't.
Apparently not, right?
No, they fired everybody that isn't in the family of the people that own it, and like, no offense to them, but they're not cooks. They just aren't. Poppy asked for like a poached egg, which we've gotten many, many times from the Perkins before they fired everybody that wasn't in the family. And it came out, it was like a wet fried egg. It was like a fried egg that was just in water, and it came in like one of those little plate bowls, the like really tiny ones that's like not quite a plate, not quite a bowl. And it was one of the grossest things I've ever seen. They did not take off a lot of the dietary restrictions that we asked them to, and on top of that, it took like an hour for them to bring the food. So
I think you might be looking a gift horse in the mouth because it sounds a little bit like they made you. Are you familiar with sloppy steaks?
Oh my!
It sounds a little bit like
God.
sloppy egg. Yeah.
No, because the thing with sloppy steaks is right. You get to choose how sloppy it is before they run you out of the restaurant.
Maybe they figured out the optimal level of sloppy for the eggs. You know, I don't know.
In order sloppy
Did Poppy
eggs,
at
I'll take
least
those.
try the sloppy eggs?
Fuck no. How are you even supposed to approach that? It was like half cooked and in a fucking little bowl of water. Like, I don't know what part you start. Put a little salt on it, get a spoon ready, and scoop it out.
I think
Fucking
you were
disgusting.
supposed to just slurp it all up in one go.
Like an oyster.
Yeah.
All
Oysterized
right.
egg.
Well, this has been fun, guys. But I need to go vomit.
No. I do have one more question for you.
Okay.
What do you think about the band name The Gummy Bear Cult?
Oh, Gummy Bear Cult's cool, but I kind of feel like it should be like a rap collective. Like it should be like experimental, like hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be really cool. Yeah. I think they're really good. I think they're like a bunch of like cool rappers that are like not super well known, but like this project is like taking off, you know? And they're,
Yeah.
like all like working on it together. Maybe they're all roommates. I think they should all be roommates, and that's why
New
it's cool.
Brockhampton.
Oh, true. No, I'm not thinking of Brockhampton. Not that kind of hip hop. Have y'all heard of Maglo? I thought of Maglo, but maybe that's just because he's my buddy.
I haven't. I'm sorry. No.
I have not either.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Well, I thought of like Maglo's music or like yeah, like Maglo's or like maybe something closer to Flying Lotus, like Maglo mixed with Flying Lotus. That'd be cool. I don't know. I think that'd be sick.
I think that's exactly what Gummy Bear Cult sounds like. They're being introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now. I just got word from my in-ear piece. Thank you, Daisy, for joining us so much. Go ahead and plug all your stuff. All the links are gonna be in the damn description, people. So check the show notes for Resilia's Spotify and all that shit. And I Met a Yeti and all those things. So, but you go ahead and plug, of course.
Sick, thank you. My band Resilia is releasing an album this Friday when this episode should be released. So please be on the lookout for that. We're also going to be on tour. We're going to be playing a few shows in California, Arizona, and Texas. If you're in any of those cities, come out and say hi. We'll have CDs and shirts, all that good stuff. So yeah, please come say hey to us. Please listen to the album. Give it a shot. It's I'm really proud of it. Anjo is my baby song. I love it so much. I'm so excited for people to hear it. And then if you like it quite a bit, you can check out my other band, I Met a Yeti. So yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Daisy.
And we're going to play a clip from the new album at the end here. 30 seconds from something. I'm not even gonna say what it is, but it's gonna sound pretty cool.